Hello, and thank you for tuning into the Stuff I Heard podcast. I'm your host, Joshua Peak. And has anybody else found that their technology is just kind of like hard to maneuver sometimes? Is it just me?
No, it's not just you, it's me.
Yeah. I don't know if it's because we're getting older or because technology is getting that much more nuanced with the things that are involved. But it seems like, everything has a new quirk to it all the time. Like even this program to download this or to make this podcast. Once in a while when I turn it on, all the buttons are moved, or it doesn't say the things it used to say. Now it says a new thing. And I know that's like companies trying to innovate, or how they say it, innovate. But in a way, is it also making it harder for us all to use the thing that they wanted us to use in the first place? I mean, I don't know. Even our phones sometimes do an update where all of a sudden everything we used to use is gone.
Not gone, just moved.
Well, I consider it gone when I'm like, where's the thing I used to press here? Why doesn't it do the thing I used to do? And I don't know, is that normal nowadays?
It very,
Should it just be like we all the time just go, well, and we got another update, so I have to learn to use my phone again. It's another thing.
yeah. I mean, and I don't know. I'm a little aggravated with a vacuum cleaner right now.
A vacuum?
Yes,
How's
one
a
of the
vacuum messing up your life?
an iRobot vacuum. I don't know. I mean, do I like the thing? Yes, most definitely. Is it aggravating to use?
Sometimes.
Sometimes, most of the
Yeah.
time. I just don't. I don't know. It's it's one of those things where it takes forever to map out a house, or longer than you would think.
Yeah.
If the thing gets
Hung up on a cord, a
or
rug.
or underneath a piece of furniture, he
Yeah.
gets aggravated and he just stops. And if you're not looking at your phone right then, you don't know that that's happened. I want to say the last time I used it, and we did not use it as I didn't use it as any, I don't think, during the holidays, because I moved him.
Yeah.
And these little iRobot vacuums, and I actually have the brand of iRobot. I wanted that brand because it has the best ratings, and it was a little bit more pricey, but I watched it until it went on sale. And I moved his home base during the holidays to put the tree up. And he was a little confused. So I just didn't use him because I didn't want to take the time to map off the Christmas tree and some other things that I had sitting around for the holidays, decorations and stuff. So I opted not to use him. Now I have put him, I don't know if I put him in a new place. Yeah, I think I
Yeah.
did because we got a new television. But anyway, now he's just, I don't know. Me and him are just not seeing eye to eye right now.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Using it most recently, we had a trouble with it.
I think they
Going in the
had an
bathroom
update.
and getting
Yes,
getting
last time I
trapped in a
used him,
rug and
I can't remember if he got trapped in a rug or if he got in a place that I didn't mean for him to get into, and he got confused.
yeah.
So, and we talk about him like he's a person, but he is a computer. I
Well,
mean,
we named it.
yeah.
I mean, it was cute because, for the longest time you said, I don't want a pet, I don't want a pet, I don't want a pet. But if I had a pet, I'd name it this. And then you named it that. And then
Yes.
it was funny when it got behind the couch and you're like, come on, you can do it. Come on. And like you were like coaching it on like it was a
Yeah.
pet, which I thought was adorable.
But I think they've had an update on the app, and I have not installed the newest update.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Maybe there's a new thing it does. Maybe
he
all
and
your
I are
buttons are
not
gone.
seeing eye to eye right now.
Yeah. Well, we got to figure that out. We'll do that today. Um, I would, I have used it before on the app, and there is some controls on there where you can map out a room and like you have to like put a line across a threshold to separate rooms so that if you wanted it to go in one area but not another, you can say, hey, just clean the bathroom. Hey, just clean this room. Okay, now clean these two rooms. But right now it's under whole house because we mapped the whole house over since we moved the base. And we all know it's all about the base.
Well, I
It's
mean,
all about that base. No trouble.
before I got one, I had somebody tell me, do not, if you get one, they're great.
Don't watch it.
I love mine. Don't watch it work because it will drive you insane because it does some of the weirdest patterns that you would think.
Yeah.
And whenever you set this thing on the course, when you're setting him up and you set him out to map your house, and it takes him forever, what, 3 hours to map your
It was
house?
longer than that.
And then whenever you get I guess I wouldn't say it's a blueprint, but you're basically getting what he thinks your house looks like.
It doesn't look like your house.
Oh my gosh, it's like, whoa, that's different.
Yeah, it's a bunch of polygons, and you're like, wait, why is it this a room? Why does it look so funky? And why does it tie this room to that room as a big room instead of a separated room like it is? It's kind of weird the way it does it, and it's just it takes a while for your thought process to understand what its thought process is.
But here we are complaining about a vacuum that
Right. I mean,
third world problems,
this is
right?
George Jetson type of
Yes.
technology that we watched on television when we were young and went, "Oh, wouldn't that be cool if Rosie would go around and clean the house?" We should have named her Rosie. Holy crap, why didn't we name it Rosie?
Because I wanted to name him Obi.
Okay. But anyway, so Rosie goes around and cleans the house, and oh, that'd be so great.
Yeah.
But that's the next step is getting
But I
Rosie.
mean, we
So if we
have
get step
a
2, if we get a new version, she's got to be Rosie.
we have a vacuum that cleaner that works on its own. We have our
Plus, we got another one right there and another one right here.
we have our 3 meals per week delivered to our front door.
Which can be frustrating when it doesn't work correctly.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Speaking of that, we had what is it called when snow? What does people call it?
Inclement
Snow
weather.
No, yeah, but they called it snow maget.
They named the storm.
Oh, really?
They named it like Eve or something.
Oh,
The winter storm Eve or Yvette. Yvette. That's what it was.
I have no idea.
And I'm like,
I didn't know it had
you're
a name.
naming it like you do serial killers, like it's a thing. You
No,
got to be like,
that's more like hurricane.
no,
They're naming it like hurricanes and tropical
that's
storms.
it's all because of serial killers. You know that, right?
No.
The reason they name it's because of serial killers.
Hurricanes?
Yeah. I mean, this is stuff I heard, so I'm just telling you something I heard. The whole reason they name it is
Where did you heard this?
I heard it on a podcast.
Um.
So anyway, the whole reason they name these things is because they can't get media attention unless they have a name that they all agree on. So they decided to name them.
Okay.
So like a serial killer, if you had a whole bunch of people dying in your area, and you're like another person died today, we think it's linked to the other one. We don't know exactly who it is, but you find a commonality like Jack the Ripper or the 34th Street Strangler or whatever. You give it a name, and suddenly media attention is like, oh, we got to be aware of this, and it becomes a thing. Same thing with storms. You can't just say, and another storm is coming. You got to name it.
I'm sure that was before the news and social media.
You can tell
people,
you heard it here. I said it.
I wonder how long they've been naming hurricanes.
I'm sure
a long time. I'm sure we could Google it.
Imagine before this, and you were just living near the coast, and then all of a sudden, like,
well, I'm sure that's why way more people died in hurricanes than they do now.
Okay,
and don't get me wrong, they still die in hurricanes now. But I'm sure the fact that we have such an amazing communication system is how more people are not.
They didn't start naming hurricanes until 1953.
Oh, really? I would have thought it would.
The National Weather Service started using female names to identify storms. This system was adopted after confusion arose from tracking multiple storms simultaneously.
That makes sense.
Using only year and order of the occurrence. Before 1953, storms were identified by the year and the order in which they occurred. So it could be like the 1952 Storm 3, Storm 4, or whatever. During World War II, hurricanes were temporarily named using radio code names like Abel and Baker. Female names are initially done in 1953. It doesn't say why. I don't know why they use female names.
I have no idea.
She's coming in like a storm. I guess because they could, like sailors always called their boats women's names. They could call the storms women's names too. I don't know, some weird. I'm sure it's misogynist for some reason.
I'm sure that's how the male names got added.
Yeah, I'm sure at some point they're like, why are we only using female names? Okay, hey, that's a good question. When did they start using male names? When did hurricanes start?
I don't think that's been very long that they started using male names.
Oh, Google must have heard me because it automatically had that as my next thing. They didn't start doing that until 1979.
Oh, well, I thought it would have been not that long.
Wow.
I know they go alphabetical, right?
Every year. Time. Yeah, they go
every year. They start off alphabetically.
Yeah,
and then they just discard the rest of the alphabet if we only make it through. I guess last year would have been the H's because Helena.
They just start over.
I know. They don't use the rest of the names that they've picked out for the alphabet.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't start the next year. You already started with A.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm like I say, I know that communication, our ability to communicate the way we communicate now is so much better that is why there's not as many people killed during hurricanes, tornadoes, and other natural disasters.
So in 2005, we had the most hurricanes. We had the most named stormed hurricanes with 28.
So this week we had snow.
Well, hang
And
on. It says below that, it says in 2020, we had 30 named storms. Oh, that includes cyclones. So just hurricanes.
okay.
2025 or 2020, what did I say? 2005.
So we
The
had
year we got
snow.
married.
We had snow this week.
We did.
And
They named it
okay, I'd like to say I didn't know they named it.
Yvette.
The snow came what day?
Wednesday.
Wednesday. So we started, I guess we were expecting it. It started hitting Tuesday because that's when it sleeted, right? Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a meal order service that we use. I think you've talked about it on here before, right? Marley
Marley
Spoon.
Spoon.
Marley Spoon. We've been using Marley Spoon for about almost 2 years now. And we get 3 meals a week for 2 people. We like it. It works
Enzo.
great for us. See, I'm already moved way on, and
Listen,
you're still back there typing on the computer.
ADHD. It's Enzo. Winter Storm
Okay.
Enzo.
Okay.
Someone out there is going to correct me. They're
so
like,
that
I
hit.
heard it was Yvette.
Now we do with our meal services that we've been doing for almost 2 years. We have allowed for holidays.
Yes.
And holidays will change up our delivery day. Our delivery day is always Wednesday. We do buy our other groceries, which are very little groceries, based on those 3 meals per week. And I pick the meals generally.
Mm-hmm. Well,
yeah. I mean, we talk about.
We know what we like.
We know, yeah,
and
right.
It's not a variation too much. I mean, we like to have a protein, either steak, chicken, or fish.
Well,
or
most
shrimp.
of the meals offer that.
Well, yeah, but you have a thing you could select. So if you were vegan, you could just say no meat.
Right.
Or if you were only pescatarian, you could pick just mission.
We tried another meal subscription box for a little while. Actually,
we did that for a while.
We tried HelloFresh for, I want to say, maybe a couple of months.
Yeah.
It was working well. That was our first try at that until the price tripled or doubled, at least doubled.
Yeah.
And I dropped it. And we really liked it. We liked the fact that everything comes to the door. It is not an abundance of seasonings. You can try different dishes and not have to go out and buy multiple kinds of seasoning and condiments to make the dish.
Yes.
That's one of the things that we really like about it.
It's just less waste.
Just right. To me, it is. Does it cost a little bit more per meal? When you do the math, probably yes, because
it's cheaper than eating out.
But it's way cheaper than eating out.
Yep.
And the fact that most people say the quality is very good.
Yeah.
A lot of people say I would not pay. I mean, and I'm not, it's $77 and it's been $77 a week with the 3 meals for 2 people with delivery to our front door for 2 years now. It has not gone up one time. And we've had a few hiccups. There's been a couple times where things have been missing or an item has been busted open or an item it's $12.83 a meal
per person, which is not bad.
No, because the food is good quality.
Yeah.
Like I say, it works perfect for us. We really enjoy it. And it has cut down on a lot of waste in our house. It has definitely give us a
lot of good flavorful things to try
that I normally wouldn't have tried.
Right. Well, and I'm so adventurous that I would have loved to eat this stuff at a restaurant, but when you go out to a restaurant, it's kind of risky to go, I don't know if I like this. Whereas when you can order it and it comes to the house, there's ways that you can kind of cater the meal to be sort of towards your taste buds. Like if I like the jalapenos, but you don't, I could cut some up and put it in mine. Or if, I don't like peas in mine, I could leave the peas out of something or whatever. I mean, maybe there's a certain spice that, affects one of us a little bit more than the other. We can temper the amount that we use.
Right.
Which I really like. I like the fact also that the quality of everything we get, aside from some of the vegetables once in a while, I mean, every now and then it gets delivered and it's not great. But for the most part, everything's really great.
Everything is really good. And their customer service is absolutely the best I've ever dealt with.
If we've ever had a problem, we just send them a complaint and they're easily to fix it.
They automatically credit you back money. It doesn't, I mean, there's times that I've said, hey, the bell pepper, or I'm just saying bell pepper, for instance, this bell pepper is not, my bell pepper wasn't any good for this meal. And I'll forget to upload the picture. A lot of times I do take a picture of whatever item is either missing or if it's busted open.
Hmm.
And they don't ask. I mean, even when I have forgotten to upload the picture, they will automatically credit our account back the money. So as far as being easy to deal with, I mean, and this box sits on our porch during the summer months. It usually is delivered during the day, and we both work until at least 4 o'clock, and everything is still cold that needs to be cold. They package it extremely well. And I love it. I absolutely love it. I love picking out the meals. There's, I love looking forward to when they're going to come. And when a holiday happens or snow, that can change things up just a
Yeah.
little bit. So this week we had a couple of days of peanut butter and jelly.
Well, the funny part was hearing you open the cupboard and go, "We're gonna starve." I was like, "We're not gonna starve. We have a ton of food in here. We just got to make something
Well,
else."
we don't have a ton of food. We do
We
not keep
do.
a ton of food in this house.
We keep stuff that we have stuff.
The running
You
joke with my friends is my refrigerator is
is
actually
empty.
empty, all but coffee creamer and usually a gallon of
Some
tea
yogurts.
tea and some yogurt because we make sweet tea ourselves here.
Yeah.
We don't buy it. But so this week our normal box comes on Wednesday. Monday was a holiday. So we were expecting our box to come on Thursday. And when we got home from work Thursday, you and I both were like, because we had already went what Monday to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We were like, oh gosh, be so glad for that box to come on Thursday, and then no box. And I was like, oh my god, we're gonna starve.
Right. Meanwhile, we had stuff in the fridge, and
We did. We
we had
didn't
stuff. We
starve.
were fine.
We did eat all of the slices of bread this past week.
Yeah. Which normally I'm looking at going, we really should eat more of this because we got to get it going.
Yeah, we normally
Yeah.
I have a container that I keep bread in that makes bread last a little bit longer, and we stretch a loaf of bread as far as it will possibly live because we
So
don't eat it very much
I Googled it because I was curious. Marley Spoon apparently was founded in 2014
in Australia,
in Germany,
Germany. Okay, I knew it was a different country.
Berlin, Germany originally. And now it's actually in 7 different countries around the world. Here in the United States, it just happens to be in partnership with Martha Stewart. Um, she does a partnership with Marley Spoon and something called Dinnerly, which I guess is similar.
I'm not sure. I know that
Never
there
heard
are
Dinnerly.
meals. There are a lot of meals to choose from each week. There are probably 40 plus meals to choose
Yeah.
from. And now there are some repeats, but not like every single week. You and I have items or have meals that we really like, and we have ordered them more than once, more than twice, because we've
Hmm.
been doing this for 2 years. The good thing about the rotation is it doesn't give you the same exact meals every single week.
Right.
So it's not like I order the same thing every time. I want to
Yeah.
say every week we get something totally different.
Well, and we also try to mix it up to where we have at least one dish with some shrimp in it, one with some chicken, and then maybe one with beef or turkey or pork or something like that.
Yep.
And we had a mixture this past week of beef, pork, and
Chicken.
chicken. That's right.
Yeah.
Yep. And all of them so far have been great. All 3 of them have been great. So I've been pretty happy with that.
Yeah, it worked. Like I say, it worked well for us, even to the point that whenever it said 2 days late because of the snow, the holiday and the snow put it 2 days late. So
Yeah.
we didn't get that box this week until Friday.
Yeah. But
So
it's fine. We're
yeah,
fine.
we're fine. We're not going to
We're
starve to
gonna
death, although I
we're
think
gonna
I'm going
live.
to. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I could stand to starve a few days. I think I could
But now the
survive.
snow sure changed some things up a little bit this week.
Yeah.
Made
It
made
was
the transportation industry totally different.
it was pretty to look at, but you know, where I work, we deliver food to restaurants and stuff, and we couldn't go towards the coast. Weirdly, the coast got more snow and ice than most of our area.
Yeah, I want to say Charleston got more than Florence, right?
Yeah, down in Hilton Head and Savannah, they got over 6 inches of ice and
Oh
snow.
goodness.
And it's I seen the thing from our local weathercaster Ed Piotrowski with WPDE. He posted that satellite photos are still showing snow and ice from satellite view.
Wow.
So that's been quite a few days ago, and they still are dealing with it. It is melting, but it's kind of slow
I think
there.
today it's supposed to be a lot warmer than it has been all week.
Warmer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although
52. It's 52 out there right now for us.
But that's normal for this time of the year.
Sure.
I mean, we're not accustomed to the highs only being in the 20s.
Yeah.
which is what we experienced last week
Now
multiple times.
we did have some adventurous driving with ice. I left a little before you, took the Jeep, and we talked to you on the phone about what to look out for. How do you think you did on the ice?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't, if it had been any more, I probably wouldn't have wanted to drive.
Okay.
I mean, there were some roads that were in way better shape than others.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell it's always that way, I would think, though. The major roads, because you made a comment that once you got on 95, you couldn't even tell that it
Yeah.
had snowed.
No, they did a good job of putting stuff down to make sure that the 95 was good. Plus, 95 always gets a lot of traffic,
Yeah.
so the heat of the vehicles helps keep it pretty regulated too.
Yeah. I drive 52 to work because I go in the opposite direction from you. And it was in great shape. There was a couple of places the further I got, because my work is about 15 miles from here toward would that be west?
Yep.
Northwest,
Yep.
I guess.
Northwest.
And it did get in a couple places where 52 was, I drove extremely slow.
Yeah.
I was not going to let anybody come up behind me and pressure me to drive faster
Mm-hmm.
because I just wanted to make sure. I don't know the difference between wet pavement and or wet asphalt and black ice. And during something like that the black ice really scares me because I don't know how to tell the difference.
Yeah. Well, then it's best to treat it as the same thing because you don't know.
Right.
All it takes is a little bit of losing your traction there and you're in trouble.
Now I
So,
don't guess we got as much ice though as because I will have to say there's been times where we've had storms before and you could see a lot of like cars off the road.
yep.
I don't think I saw any this time at all.
Yeah. Well, so I teach a defensive driving class, and one of the stats that we use is you have perfect traction whenever you're parked on dry concrete. As soon as you start moving, you're down to 85% traction, which means you lose 15% just by moving. That makes sense because you're in motion, right? When it rains, you're down to 65%, which is almost half. So you got to imagine once it gets to where it's slick with snow and ice, that reduces tremendously. I think right off the bat, it goes to 35% if you were lucky, if you happen to touch some pavement along the way. So yeah, if you start losing control, obviously you probably don't need to be on the road at all. But if you have to be on it, you want to go as slow and smooth as possible. I had a driver get into an area where he could not back up, and his only choice was to go forward across some ice, and he put it in manual, put it in first gear, locked the both axles, and just stayed at a slow, smooth pace. He said, I must have been going 5 miles an hour for half an hour. He said, but I got to where I was going. I mean, it was just heavy enough and just steady enough. He said, but if I left it in automatic, it would have tried to switch gears. And when it did, it would have spun out and I would have been in the ditch. He said, but we got through it. Yay. He said, because the only other option was to back up over 5 miles to the next place we could turn around. And there was no option for that.
Yeah.
So, we got lucky in a lot of ways for our area because a lot of people took it seriously. So that's great. I know we're talking to friends and loved ones. Everybody was pretty mindful about the weather and gave themselves extra time. And luckily, employers understood
that's
and
one
gave
thing we
people extra
noticed was
time.
that places were closing because I
Yeah.
want to say it was what
Tuesday
Tuesday,
evening or Tuesday afternoons when we were expecting it to start rolling in, and people were like, okay, school's out early. Let's go home. Businesses, let's go close
yeah,
early. Let's get people home.
because I want to say it was it Tuesday that our grandson needed
Some
some
medicine.
medicine,
Yeah.
and I mean he's only 8 months old, so
Yep.
she didn't want, or maybe it's 9 months
That was
anyway.
Thursday evening.
Okay,
But
well
yeah, we went out to try to find
that's
some
when we were worried
medicine
about it
and
refreezing. There was
and
a lot of places closing at
places
five
were
o'clock.
closing at 5 because they wanted people to be able to get home while they can
Yeah,
see.
and I mean places like it was what
Like
we could not
CVS
find a
and
Walgreens or
yeah,
a CVS open.
yeah, which is fine. We knew the all powerful Walmart would be
Yeah,
open, and it
they'll
was. I'm sure they had like 3 employees in there running around like crazy, going,
they
"Geez, what
had
the heck?"
no, actually I'm the one that went in and grabbed that stuff for them and came back out. There was no registers at all. They had nobody running registers. They
Yeah.
only had what 3 or 4 women that I saw in there, that female employees.
Hmm.
They were directing traffic that was lined up to use the self checkouts.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things where natural disasters happen, and you just kind of get through it. And luckily, we did. So,
Well, yeah, and
yay!
I guess too, they could have been short employees because of the
People
weather.
couldn't get
Yeah,
in, or sometimes people are just lazy and like, I'm not going out there. I'm gonna stay home and watch Netflix. Because there's that too. I
yeah.
mean, whatever. So I did find out that employers couldn't penalize people for not coming in because of the weather. I heard that conversation happen. Again, this is stuff I heard. I don't know if this is true, but I heard them say that because of inclement weather, businesses couldn't say that they could write you up for not being there if you physically couldn't get there because they can't go around and prove that everybody couldn't
I
get out
was
of their
gonna say,
neighborhood.
how do they can't prove that you can't
Right,
get there?
right. Or I can't get out because I have a baby and I don't and daycare is not open. I can't take my kid to daycare. I mean, it's kind of a circumstance of the weather.
Yeah,
So
true.
yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I shipped trucks the day that it actually snowed that evening. I shipped
We did
trucks.
not.
I shipped trucks out the next day, but also
We
too,
did the next like Thursday, not Wednesday.
I did on Wednesday.
Wednesday, we just came up with a plan.
I
We
want to
just
say
talked
I
about the
shipped more
plan, came up with the
tons
plan.
out on Wednesday than I did on Thursday. Also, too, I deal with drivers that are over the road drivers, so they
Yeah,
are accustomed to the weather, to the
right.
snow.
They're not delivering to people's residents and
No, no,
businesses, and
they're on main
they're on
major
the highway.
roads.
Yeah,
Right,
point A to point B.
right. Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, it was I was glad for that the snow to melt.
yeah.
We're not I am not I'm not used to it.
I don't know if the listeners can tell, but we had a cold, and I think we're both over it mostly.
Mostly it's
Um,
getting there.
it's been one of those things that's lingered around. I'm not sure if grandkid gave it to us or what, but we both kind of fought with this under the weather feeling for quite a while. And
And I'm not sure if it is the fact that the strand it seems to me like it's taken me longer. Could it be my age is why it's taken me longer this time?
maybe, or it could just be an adaptive strand of something that's just harder to get rid of. I mean, that's possible too. Mother, we watched the thing on Disney, The Bug's Life too.
Yeah.
A real Bug's Life. It's interesting. It's got Aquafina as a narrator, but it's kind of like National Geographic
Oh,
that we used to
well
watch
it
as a
is.
kid.
Yeah, I love it. I love those shows.
And
Your and I idea of TV is totally
no, no,
different.
no. I've grew up watching that stuff too. I mean, I'm fascinated by that stuff. But yeah, it's been really great to watch, especially with her narrating because she's kind of funny, and they
Yes.
and they build a storyline, and there's all kind of stuff happening. And at one point, there's a crab inside of a plastic bottle floating out in the ocean, and she's like, "Oh no, what's going to happen?" And I was like, "I don't know." The person holding the camera could go, "Here, buddy, I got you." So, I mean, there is a lot of that where they're filming, and I'm thinking, okay, are they filming the same ant? Because I can't really tell. How do you know it's the same
Oh
ant?
no, I'm sure all that's
I mean,
editing.
it's a whole lot of movie magic happening to tell the story, but it's still a cute little story. But yeah, I mean that's
I will always choose one of those type of shows over. I mean, I'm not much of a TV person, period. You watch, I don't even know how many
a
more,
lot.
well, TV times more than I do.
Yeah,
I, I just don't watch a lot of TV. When I do, it's these types of shows for some reason. I don't know why, but it always is the narrator. The narrator will decide whether or not I watch more of it
well,
or,
sure.
I mean, because it makes the show.
Yeah, like I think the first season of it was done by the actor who played Flick, the in a
Um,
Bug's Life. I think he was the narrator in the first season,
I
and
don't know.
then this one's narrated by Aquafina, which she's hilarious anyway. But she's got the great voice to do the thing, and
Yeah,
I think it's
it's
good.
been really good.
And the cinematography is incredible. But yeah, so I forgot my point to start with, but the Bug's Life too, real Bug's Life.
That's it, and it's on Disney Plus.
It's on Disney Plus.
It's National Geographic on Disney Plus
Yeah,
because I guess Disney owns National
they
Geographic,
do.
so it's actually something that you can find under the Disney Plus app,
Yeah,
which we watch a lot of Disney Plus
yeah.
for a household that has no children in it. So also too, we get a discount
I'm
because
looking at the
we're
Legos behind me,
you're
going, define children.
yeah, most
Define
definitely.
children. Yeah. So we had our grandsons over. That was fun. Got to play some games with the oldest, and
Yeah.
I got to catch up on Skeleton Crew with him. He was watching the whole thing, and he's at the perfect age where he like understands what's happening, and he's got questions about how it interacts with the whole storyline, and I can kind of give him the overbite of here's what it really is, and he's like, oh wow, that is so cool. Like he's kind of he's getting it. he's getting the big story, which I think is neat.
Yep.
So we had the youngest grandson with a video where it sounds like he's saying, "Hey, Gigi."
Yeah, and he is
That's
9 months old and ruling the roost.
is
I mean, we had him here for what? For maybe an hour and a half
yeah, I was
yesterday.
exhausted.
I know. We had him for an hour and a half yesterday evening.
By the time he left, I felt like I'd been shell
I
shocked.
know. And it's like it takes two adults and our 8-year-old grandson just to keep this one 9 month old occupied.
Yeah,
I was like, man, you tell me these kids don't rule the roost.
yeah. There's something else.
But it was great. It
It
was
was
fun.
great.
A lot of fun. What's coming up next week?
I have no idea. What is next week? February?
Is no, not
No,
yet. It's getting close though.
We still got another January week. Oh, the weather's supposed to turn warm. By next
Well,
weekend, we'll be walking around in shorts outside. It's supposed to be 72 here.
and let's see, tomorrow, actually, yeah, oh, you God, yeah, we've got all the way through Friday
Yeah,
before the 31st is on a
I might
Friday.
actually drive the truck.
Yeah.
I've been, that's kind of a joke. I've been driving the Jeep every day because
And
it's
the only
parked in the
reason you've been
garage
driving the Jeep every day is
because
because
it's
it's in the garage.
butt cold outside. And if I go out in the truck, I got to defrost everything forever. Yeah, it's been so convenient just to hop in and go. Brr, brr. So, yeah.
Yeah, but it's hard to believe that next Saturday it is, and Sunday it will be in the 70s. Golly, look, Tuesday of the a week from this coming Tuesday, 73 for the high.
Mm.
That is unreal for February.
It's like springtime and it's still
Well,
January.
it seems like this year it did come. Usually January and February are our colder months, but this year
it'll
it
get cold
started
again.
sooner. Oh, I know it's going to get
Listen,
cold
February
again.
we're still going to have some freezing whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to get down to 0 again. I mean, it'll happen. February is always the surprise. February and March are the surprise cold months. You're like, oh, spring's right around the corner. You're like, wow, what just happened? Ah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, next weekend it's nice to look forward to some warmer weather to get some things done.
Yeah. I agree. So, anyway, I feel like I did enough here. You
Okay.
good?
I'm good.
Okay. Get anything promote?
Promote?
Yeah. Like your favorite soup, your favorite band, your favorite medicine,
No, I'm
your
good.
favorite celebrity that's doing something awesome.
No, I'm good.
No, you don't want to like shout out a fake commercial and do a fake commercial.
No.
We did a fake commercial last time.
For what?
Somebody here in Florence. I forget.
Oh no, you didn't do a fake.
Who was that?
You said something about the restaurant we ate at.
Who was it? I forget.
Agave.
Oh, we did a fake commercial for Agave. That's right.
We didn't eat out at all this week
We didn't eat out at all this week.
because Marley Spoon Box came later.
Yeah.
Had to eat those groceries first.
Yeah.
Plus, our friends are out of town, so
We should like. I feel like we should make like a segment out of a fake commercial. Like every episode, do a fake commercial for somebody here.
I think you just need to wrap this up and let's go.
Okay, let's do that.
That sounds way
maybe,
better.
And maybe the science medicine. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching and listening and paying attention and all that fun stuff and subscribing. And I appreciate you. And hope you're doing okay. If you're bogged down by the weight of the world, sometimes take a break and turn everything off and just go outside and enjoy your time with your friends and family, because that's what we all need once in a while. And till then, stick around, share this with your friends, and hit the like button. And remember, cue the cow.
Cue the cow. Moo, baby.